Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hughton'S YouTube channel. I've not been able to feed you so much of content since I got to Abidjan. I apologize unreservedly. I appreciate that many of you continue to subscribe to my channel, and I'm extremely grateful. I see the difficulties in terms of getting some of the things done, especially on March day 1, was the fact that I needed to get access to data, I needed to buy a SIM card, I needed to do plenty stuff. So those stuff kind of stretched me a bit, and unfortunately I haven't been able to serve so much, but I apologize. Just a quick thing. There have been a running story in Ghana about how supporters have been brought by the Ministry of Youth and Sports and paid $400 each and all that. People say it's per diem. But I don't know if it's per diem. Maybe if you break it down to the number of days they will be here, the amount they will get per day, probably that will be a per diem. So for the group stage, they've been given $400, which is true. But I found that a bit unfortunate that the storytellers chose to exempt themselves from the story and portray it as though the ministry only gave money to supporters. Every single person here that has been brought to this country by the Ministry of Youth and Sport, at least, has been given something. The $400 we heard is there. Journalists who were brought here also had their money. Government officials who were brought here also had their money. And this has been there since time immemorial. This was approved by the General Affairs Commission report. So many of us actually forget the fact that the General Affairs Commission's report approved that government should fund the supporters to go support the national team because they thought it was a necessity. But one of the things, or one of the conditions they said was that the supporters should come under one umbrella, which is what is happening. So I found it quite weird that this has become news today, because it's been happening since Ghana participating in tournaments. I do agree with people who would say that, okay, assuming the Ministry of Youth and Sports is giving, say, 200 supporters $400 each, that's how much? Is that $80,000? Yeah, nearly $100,000. So that money can be channeled into something else. I do agree, because this is a country that lacks so much infrastructure, and it is actually important that we channel the resources, or the little resources we've got, into improving our game. And that is extremely crucial to my heart. If the Black Stars were not here, I wouldn't be here. So we need to get the best infrastructure, the best facilities in place, so that we can groom more talents and get more talents, qualify us to major competitions like this, for journalists to be able to follow the teams and report. The success of every single federation, or every single athlete, is a success of a journalist. Journalists travel because they go to report on the athletes. We don't come here to report on other teams. We don't come here because Nigeria has qualified. Egypt has qualified. If Ghana hadn't qualified, I'm not too sure I'd be here. Unless, of course, I got a sponsor who was willing to go like Muftau. As much as Ghana is not there, go and do ABC. So the point is that it is important that we get the right structures in place for the betterment of the game. But there's one thing too that many people actually claim to have happened. People claim that some supporters are sleeping on the floor, claim that some supporters threaten to go back home. Those things, I've heard them. I've been to the supporters' base. But my understanding is that the supporters are scattered across Abidjan in different hotels. Maybe the hotels I visited, no supporter in there threatened to go back home, and that was why they were given the $400. That's not true. One, the ministry, before the supporters even left Ghana, gave them money so that when they get here, before the officials will get here, and at least give them something, give them money to be able to feed themselves while they are here for the tournament. They gave them money. So if any supporter actually claims that they've been maltreated, unless, of course, I've not encountered those group of supporters, but those I have encountered, absolutely nothing of that sort happened. 20 buses came, 20 buses. Each bus could take about 44 to 49 people. I understand the official numbers of supporters who came here were about 210. Some supporters also organized themselves and came. Those supporters were not in the budget of the Ministry of Youth and Sport. But the ministry has decided that, okay, since you've taken the initiative of coming to support the Black Stars and you are struggling to cope in Abidjan, the minister has decided, okay, I will support you. There are 1,001 journalists in this country. When I say 1,001 journalists, that's not necessarily that there are 1,001. What I'm trying to say actually is that there are other journalists who are in Abidjan for the African Cup who were not listed in the ministry's books. But those journalists, the ministry says, you are still here to report on the national team. So you cannot be here and go hungry when we can support you. From where I sit, the ministry has actually stretched its limit to be able to support journalists to do their job. The onus is on the organizations we work for to bring us here to report to our audience. But the ministry also says that, okay, as an entity, what if we support by giving people, and in fact, it happens, I don't know why it is when it comes to sports or when it comes to the football or when it comes to the Ministry of Youth and Sport, it's a major issue. I do think it's a major issue that needs to be addressed because every single ministry, I don't want to mention it, but every single ministry travel with journalists for their events. And guess what? Maybe, just maybe, some of the figures you hear from the other ministries when they travel with people, you'll be shocked. You'll be really, really shocked. So I do think that the ministry has so far shown that they have the interests of the people who are here at heart, and they are doing everything to support them. But that is not to suggest that it is something that can continue to happen. For how long would media organizations not be able to take their reporters to go and report? For how long would the ministry continue to help supporters to come and support the national team? Maybe the supporters should be able to raise sponsorship. Media organizations should be able to raise sponsorship to come and report on activities surrounding our athletes who participate in events. For that, I think it will work. I don't know if there's any other thing that I've forgotten, but the allegations that 2,000 supporters have been brought here is actually false, completely false. And there's, like I said, it's false. Do not take that, because I've been to many supporters camps. And just a quick one before I go. The Chris Hughton incident. I don't know whether if anyone saw it on my Joy Online. I published it on my Joy Online, and usually one of the things I enjoy doing is to do the background stories. One, the person who abused Chris Hughton is not an ordinary supporter. He's someone who is close to the leadership of the Football Federation. Where he had access to, from where I sit, I'm not too sure any ordinary supporter could have had access to that place. And secondly, I was made to understand that this supporter has a good relationship with Chris. I also was made to understand that this supporter has good relationship with the leadership of the Ghana Football Association. That's why he was up there. Many people were actually surprised at the way he reacted towards Chris. Claims are that when he said Chris Hughton was someone who was making the Ghana FA unpopular because of the kind of performances the team was producing. And also, he has said that Chris Hughton came with a pedigree that cannot be found on the team. He claimed he's a political appointment and all these things. And that was when Chris Hughton, and I was made to understand, He's human, got emotional and reacted angrily. And then voices went loud and all that. The security came and whisked the guy away and all that. He was never arrested. The claims that diplomats intervened and all, he was never arrested. He went out, picked a taxi, and moved on. No supporter has been arrested for abusing Chris Hughton. Thank you very much. I'm bringing you Ghana's match preview in the next video.